New hair tool alerts. This one is from Drybar. This is the all-inclusive. This retails for $300 and it brings 4 different attachments. You can create so many different hairstyles with it. So let's put it to the test on my 3B curls. This retails for $300, so it is a little bit expensive. Let's see if it's worth the money. This is so heavy, by the way. I'm gonna add a little bit of this Blowout Defense Strength and Extend Blowout Accelerator Spray. This is an all-in-one spray for blowouts. It's supposed to help dry your hair a lot quicker, and it protects your hair from the heat up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. This is new, so I wanted to try it also with this product. Okay, so let's open this up and see what's in here. This is the curling barrel. This is the straightening attachment. This is the base. This right here is going to turn into either yellow or red. The yellow is going to indicate air and active heat, and the red is active heat only mode. So red basically is going to turn this into a curling iron, this into a straightener. The yellow is going to have air and active heat combined. It has 4 temperature settings: low, medium, high, or no heat. And this one right here with the little fan is the air to dry. Let's continue with the attachments because this has another layer right here. So we're doing a quick unboxing. This, I'm assuming, goes with this attachment right here. Maybe it kind of works as, like a brush. So this is the air drying attachment. I've heard that this is kind of like a 2-in-1 attachment, so we'll try it and see how this works. And this is the round brush attachment. Very interesting to see all these gaps right here that don't have bristles. So I'm interested in seeing how that's gonna affect the whole look. And we still have another layer down here. So that is why this is so heavy, because there's a lot in this box. You get a case, which thank you Drybar for including a case with this hair tool. It has like these like divisions right here. You're able to fit all the attachments, the hair tool, and it's the Drybar colors, gray and yellow. Super cute. Now that we did the unboxing, let's get into styling. So we're gonna use this one first. This is the rough drying attachment. This has 2 different settings. So this part right here is for rough drying your hair, and then this is supposed to kind of act like a nozzle attachment to smooth out the hair. It is on the yellow. Looks more like an orange, but it's not red, so we should be good. Let's try this section. Okay, pretty simple. It's just rough drying your hair. Now I want to try the other side. You rotate this, and then the air comes out from this side. Let's try this out. Very interesting. I definitely wouldn't use this attachment to do all my hair. When I have long bases like this, I'd rather use a round brush attachment or even something like this to do all my hair. It just feels more comfortable. If I want to do a traditional blowout, I'd rather use something that looks and feels more like a blow dryer, like in the shape of a blow dryer, if that makes sense, kind of like the DYSON Supersonic. But this is a good attachment if you just want to rough dry your hair. Let's try the round brush attachment now. Even on this section, because I do want to like make it look a little bit better. It still looks a little frizzy. So let's try that. Let's try this on a wet section. Okay, so this is what my hair looks like so far with the round brush attachment. I gotta say, I'm pretty surprised that my roots are not like super wavy. They're actually pretty smooth. I thought this big round brush wasn't gonna get close to my roots, and it kind of doesn't, but in a way, my roots look pretty smooth. Like my roots don't look wavy or anything. Let's do this section. So let's turn this on. Again, I'm gonna put this in highest heat setting, highest speed setting in the yellow. I don't see myself using this from wet hair just to like do all my hair. I definitely see myself using the round brush attachment first, and then this to kind of smooth out the roots, maybe make my hair a little bit more sleek, and then probably go in with the curling barrels. Speaking of curling barrels, let's try the curling barrel just to try all the attachments, and then we're gonna get into styling all my hair. This curling barrel is very long, it's huge. So if you do have long hair, you're gonna like this. As you can see, it has these vents right here, so it works on wet and dry hair. I don't know, I think I would prefer to use this more on just dry hair. Again, I'd rather just like dry all my hair first. You guys know this. I love to just dry all my hair first, with a round brush. And once my hair is completely dry, and then I'll go in with the straightener attachment or with a curling barrel attachment like this one. That is my preference, but if you want to use this on wet and dry hair, then you can totally use it on both. So first I'm going to do a couple of curls on the yellow mode just to see how that works. This is the mode that you would use on wet hair. You can also pause right here and then release the curl. Definitely a little bit looser than what I would want. So I'm gonna use this on the red mode. So let's do that. You know that if you click this, you just press it, it turns into the red mode. I just discovered that. I'm gonna do that same section in the red mode. And by the way, this is in the lowest heat setting. So I am gonna put it up for the next section just to see if there's a difference. But let's just hold for a little bit and let's see what curl we can get. Definitely a little bit tighter, but still not like that tight. Like I prefer my curls. So we're gonna put this up to the second heat setting and let's see if we notice a difference. Okay, let's see. Okay. Very nice, way better than this one in my opinion. Let's try the highest heat setting because why not? And I'm getting a haircut right after this, so. No, I'm just kidding. I am actually getting a haircut. I'm getting a little trim, so super excited about that. But this feels pretty good on my hair. It doesn't feel super hot or anything. So I'm liking that. And I also like that, again, this is with no airflow. So it's super quiet. You can watch a show. You can watch videos, talk on the phone and do your hair. This is definitely more like a curling iron, which is also why I probably wouldn't use this on wet hair. I would prefer to use this on dry hair. Way better. That is my type of curl. I'm gonna do a couple on this side just cause on this side I only used the round brush and I feel like the straightener attachment definitely made this side a little bit more straight obviously and harder to curl. So let's do a big section on this side and let's see what curl we can get. Also be careful with this barrel because it's metal, so it's definitely gonna get a lot hotter. Be careful with your ears, don't burn your face. All right. Wow, that is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous curl. Look at that. That is so, so pretty. I love that. Okay, so now that we tried all the attachments, all the settings, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish doing all my hair. This is how I'm gonna do all my hair. So I'm gonna start with the round brush attachment right here. I'm gonna dry all my hair with this. Then I'm gonna use the straightener attachment and straighten the roots only because I really want my roots to be super smooth. Even though I'm gonna go to the beauty salon now and they're gonna wash my hair, cut my hair and do it all over again. I don't know why I do this stuff. Like why do I wash my hair the day that I'm gonna get a haircut? But anyways, I really wanted to film this video today. So I'm gonna use the straightener attachment just for the roots and then we're gonna use the curling barrel to curl all my hair, set the curls, and we'll be back with the final look. Okay, these curls are actually insane. I mean, look at that bounce. Let's just go over each attachment very quickly and give you guys my honest thoughts. Okay, let's start with this one, the air drying attachment. I think it is okay to rough dry your hair. It's not really like an attachment that I would use to like blow out all my hair with the regular round brush and this. But for a rough dry, this is not bad. I also feel like the hair tool itself is a little bit bulky and a little bit heavy. So if you like lighter weight hair tools, this might feel a little bit heavy to you. It is actually pretty similar to the Shark Flex Fusion weight. So keep that in mind. This round brush attachment is good for drying all your hair. This is the attachment that I used. You can also use this as a heated round brush, which is probably why you have all these gaps right here because this gets very hot in the heated round brush mode. But for the wet mode, I really would have loved this brush to have bristles all around just because it would have felt a lot more easier to like glide and more smooth. I noticed that my wet hair would kind of like get stuck right here. Like it wouldn't glide that well. But overall, this did give me a quick dry and this was the attachment that I liked the most out of all of them to dry my curly hair. Moving on to the straightener attachment, I didn't really use this part. I guess maybe on dry hair it would have felt better, but on wet hair it wasn't the best. So I definitely prefer to use it without it. This attachment didn't feel like a blow dryer to me. It definitely felt more like a straightener, and it worked very well as a straightener. I actually really liked it to straighten my hair after I dried it with the round brush. So this is definitely an attachment that I would prefer to use on dry hair. I also don't feel like the air is coming out of the right places with this. I just feel like when you use this on wet hair, the air comes out from the top, so it doesn't really feel like it's drying your wet hair from the bottom like the Dyson Air Straight. It also takes a couple of passes to get your hair completely dry with this attachment on wet hair. So I definitely prefer to use this on dry hair just to like polish the blowout, smooth down my roots. I also really like that these attachments, when you put them on the dry mode, they make no noise. So very quiet. It's like if you're using a straightener. It really felt like if I was using a straightener, I didn't have the airflow on, it wasn't loud. So that's a big plus of this hair tool. And that also happens with the other attachments when you put it on the dry mode. Moving on to this one, also wouldn't use this on wet hair just because this material, like, it just feels a little bit rough to use on wet hair. Also, I don't like using clamps on wet hair. It just feels very rough on my hair. I definitely prefer to use this more on dry hair, and it did give me a pretty nice curl in my opinion. I mean, it really did polish the blowout. It made it look way better. So this on the dry mode was really nice. The pause mode, I didn't really use much, but if you do struggle with, you know, your hair getting frizzy because of the airflow and everything, then it's good to have it, but I just didn't really use it. I just basically used this as a regular blow dryer and then as like a heated tool. Yeah, the final look is actually pretty good in my opinion. I really do like the final look. I think the hair tool takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a lot, honestly, a lot of attachments, a lot of settings. It's a lot. So it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, but the final look is pretty nice. But overall, not bad. This hair tool is very similar to the Shark Flex Fusion. So let me know if you guys want me to do a side-by-side comparison of the two hair tools. They're about the same price point. This one's $300. The Shark is $400 original price, but right now it's on sale for $300 on TikTok Shop. So the price is very similar. Overall, this hair tool is not bad. Once you get the hang of the hair tool and learn how to use each attachment and the settings, it does give you a pretty nice final look. But yeah guys, I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys in my next video. I love you guys so much.